What would happen if America's brand new Abrams M1E3 VA evolution of the world's most battle-tested tank met Russia's futuristic T-14 Armata, a machine Moscow claims is decades ahead of its rivals? Would the Abrams prove its legendary toughness once again? Or would the Armata finally deliver on its promise of being the tank of the future? And more importantly, could U.S. tanks supplied to Ukraine actually shift the balance in Europe's bloodiest war in decades? Welcome to Novastra Defense. Here, we look beyond the headlines and into the heart of modern warfare weapons. R&T, just numbers on a spec sheet, but tools that shape the fate of nations. In this video, we're not just comparing Abrams and Armata on paper. We're diving into what makes them symbols of power, what happens when steel meets battlefield reality, and whether these next-generation tanks can still dominate in a world increasingly ruled by drones and precision strikes. Few machines capture the imagination like tanks. They are rolling fortresses, steel beasts designed to crush defenses and spearhead offensives. For much of the 20th century, the tank was king of the battlefield. The Abrams M1 is already legendary. Since its debut in the 1980s, it has fought in Iraq, Kuwait, Afghanistan, and beyond. With its 120mm smoothbore cannon, Chabam composite armor, and powerful gas turbine engine, it became a nightmare for Soviet-era tanks. But America is not standing still. The new M1E3 version is being developed to meet future threats. It promises a lighter chassis, improved active protection systems, advanced sensors, and better energy efficiency. In short, a tank designed for the wars of tomorrow, not yesterday. On the other side stands the T-14 Armata. First unveiled in 2015 during Russia's Victory Day parade, it was hailed as a revolution in armored warfare. Its unmanned turret, crew capsule protected by heavy armor, active defense system, and 125mm smoothbore gun were presented as Russian media claimed it could even be upgraded with a 152mm cannon, giving it unprecedented firepower. The stage is set. America's battle-proven legend, reborn for the future, against Russia's bold attempt to leapfrog generations. But as history shows, what looks unstoppable on paper often faces a harsher reality in war. Let's look closer at what these tanks bring to the fight. Abrams M1E3. Armor and protection. Enhanced composite armor with depleted uranium inserts. Now paired with an active protection system, apps like Trophy, capable of shooting down incoming anti-tank missiles. Firepower. A refined 120mm cannon firing advanced depleted uranium and tungsten rounds, guided munitions, and programmable airburst shells. Sensors and networking. Cutting-edge battlefield management systems, thermal sights, and AI-assisted target tracking. Drawback! Wait. At nearly 70 tons, Abrams guzzles fuel and requires heavy logistics. Supplying it in Ukraine has already proven difficult. T-14 Armata. Armor and protection! A revolutionary design with an unmanned turret and the crew sitting inside an armored capsule. Advanced Afghanistan APS claimed to intercept both anti-tank missiles and even kinetic penetrators. Firepower. A 125mm smoothbore gun with an autoloader, firing, depleted uranium penetrators, and guided missiles. Russia claims it could mount a massive 152mm cannon in the future. Mobility. Despite its size, it's lighter than Abrams, with a diesel engine giving it reasonable speed. Drawback. Production. Fewer than 100 T-14s are believed to exist, and reports suggest many are plagued by technical issues. So, how do they perform in reality? Abrams has a proven track record. In the Gulf War, U.S. M1 Abrams destroyed hundreds of Iraqi T-72s with minimal losses. In Iraq in 2003, Abrams dominated a gun-butt-faced heavy wear, fuel issues, and vulnerabilities to improvised explosive devices. More recently in Ukraine, the older M1A1 Abrams supplied by the U.S. have entered combat. Reports suggest they're powerful, but vulnerable to modern drones and anti-tank weapons if not properly supported. The T-14, by contrast, has never truly fought in combat. While Russia claims it deployed a few to Ukraine, there's little evidence they've been used in frontline combat. Western analysts suspect the Armata is too rare, too fragile, or too experimental to risk in large numbers. Instead, Russia continues to rely on upgraded T-72s and T-90s, which raises the question, what's more valuable, revolutionary design on paper, or a tank with decades of proven combat performance? Here's the deeper story. Abrams and Armata are not just machines, they are statements of intent. For the U.S., the Abrams M1E3 is about staying ahead. Washington knows future battlefields will swarm with drones, smart munitions, and hypersonic threats. By modernizing Abrams with active protection, advanced networking, and reduced weight, the U.S. signals it is not abandoning the tank, it's reimagining it. For Russia, the T-14 Armata is about prestige. It's meant to prove that Russia can still compete technologically with NATO and to boost arms exports. But its limited production tells another story. Economic struggles, sanctions, and industrial bottlenecks mean Russia still relies on Soviet Terra tanks. And in Ukraine, the truth is sobering. Abrams M1A1 South have faced losses to cheap FPV drones costing only hundreds of dollars. Russia has hesitated to commit the Armata at all. Both sides are learning the same lesson. Tanks, no matter how advanced, are increasingly vulnerable in a battlefield dominated by cheap drones, precision artillery, and top attack missiles. Does this mean the tank is obsolete? Not entirely. Tanks still provide mobile firepower, psychological dominance, and spearhead capabilities. But they are no longer invincible. They must operate within networks of drones, air defenses, and infantry support. A lone tank is a target. A coordinated system is a threat. Maybe the real battle? IS&T Abrams versus Armata? S-tanks versus the changing face of war itself? So, who leads Abrams or Armata? The truth. Abrams M1E3 carries forward a legacy of proven toughness and combat credibility. The T-14 Armata carries bold ideas but remains largely untested. On paper, the Armata looks revolutionary. In practice, Abrams remains the more reliable war machine. But here's the twist. The real winner may not be either tank. The real winner is adaptation. The wars of the future won't be decided by who has the heaviest armor, but by who adapts fastest to new threats, drones, precision weapons, electronic warfare. The Abrams and Armata may represent the last of the classic tank duels. The future belongs to combined systems where tanks are just one part of a much bigger, smarter machine of war. So, what do you think? Would the Abrams M1E3 crush the T-14 Armata if they met head? Or would Russia's futuristic design finally prove itself? And more importantly, can sending advanced U.S. tanks to Ukraine really change the outcome of this war? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Novastra Defense, where we break down the weapons and strategies shaping tomorrow's conflicts. In our next video, we'll look at another battlefield showdown you won't want to miss. This is Novastra Defense. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.